What's the situation for the takeover? Because it's not quite complete, is it?
I think the situation with the takeover is, I think the chairman's still the major shareholder, but it's just a matter of time until it's completed. The Chinese are over for tomorrow's game, and as far as I'm concerned, it's absolutely, it's full steam ahead.
I was trying to see whether that was impeding you from signing any players.
No, not at all. We're working hard behind the scenes, and we're hoping to get the players in that we want. It takes a bit of time, but as I've said before, we will do our business very quietly and try and get players signed without anybody knowing or you lot knowing. And then as soon as we do it, Pete, you can ask me about it.
You're doing a really good job at the minute because we're not hearing anything. So
yeah, well,
that must be quite frustrating.
No, not at all. I'm absolutely delighted that you're not hearing nothing.
But we stood here. Well, you stood there. I sat here a week ago, and you were saying you needed 5 players.
It takes time. Yeah, we've got another 10 days, plenty of time.
Did the win buy you time?
The win
last week.
No, the win gives us 3 points. That was important for us. I thought the lads were, fantastic. Last Saturday was a great result for us, great performance from the players. But it hasn't changed anything. It hasn't changed anything with what I've said last week in respect to bringing players in. And everybody agrees. It's just making sure, Pete, that we bring the right players in. That's the most important thing. You can bring, anybody can sign players, but it's signing the right players, signing the players who will help the group and help the team. And they've got to have the right characteristics. Not just good players, but good characters as well.
You seem a little happier and confident. You looked frustrated last week. So does that mean you're nearly there with bringing?
We're pushing on. You don't like to preempt anything in football, but we are pushing on.
So by the end of this window,
hopefully by the end of the window, we'll have the numbers that I think is needed for us to push on in the Premiership.
5 then.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
What's the situation with Sido? Obviously, people want to know.
Sido's got 10 days to go, and we'll start talking about the football again. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Nobody's more keen than myself for Sido to stay. I think he played really well with Solomon last week, and as far as I'm concerned, as far as the board is concerned, Jeremy and the Chinese. Unless someone comes in with an unbelievable offer and we have a replacement, then Side will be going nowhere.
What's unbelievable? Put a figure on that.
What do you mean?
What's an unbelievable figure?
Well,
30 million?
It'd be up to the board. It wouldn't be up to me, Pete.
But roughly, I mean...
I think the money-wise, you'd leave it to the directors. I'm just a football man.
So... Yeah, at the minute, as it stands, you think it'll be here? You're not actually looking at a direct replacement for Sido? No,
we've got other irons in the fire, all over the pitch, not just in one position, but all over the pitch, Pete.
Johnny Evans, talk of interest from Arsenal. True?
Again, it's pure speculation, but it's fills the newspapers and fills the television time. If Arsenal come in for Johnny again, if we were going to do any business, we'd do it between both clubs. I wouldn't be sat here talking about, doing a deal with Arsenal or doing a deal with anybody else. I think the most important thing is that Johnny's with us, and again, we want him to stay with us because he is an outstanding player. And last Saturday, whether it was Townsend or Zaha, and it's not Johnny's favourite position, playing as a fullback, he was most probably our best player on the pitch.
So you wouldn't want to lose him?
Not at all. You don't want to lose your best players. But in football, sometimes that happens. And if it does happen, you've just got to make sure you know where your replacements are.
When you've got somebody like Johnny who's been playing Champions League, for a number of years now, international football at a high level, when you're playing them out of position at left back, do you have to take them to one side and make them understand why, or is he okay with it?
No, he's fine. Well, just have a look. I've just said, have a look at his performance on Saturday. His performance was fantastic. He played, ever so well. I think the thing is with Johnny, I think Johnny could play anywhere. He's technically such a good player. He reads the game very well. Never gives the ball away. He's a top professional, and he's been a great addition to this squad. He's very, very well respected within the dressing room. He's a lot quieter than maybe a Fletch or people like that, but he does his work, and like I say, he's got tremendous respect because of the way he plays.
You've only got to look at your two centre halves. I mean, played well as they did. Jonas, 33, Gareth, 37.
I think it's everywhere, Pete. You're going to go through the team. It's everywhere. We need to strengthen every position and every part of the team. As I've said, we're looking to bring 5 players in if we can, and that's what we've got to do. And it's not just the 2 centre halves. It's not, whether it's another centre forward. We've got to do it right through the team, and that's what we're trying to do. We, as you say, I'm a little bit more confident that things might drop next week than what I was maybe a week ago.
Your opposition this weekend in a period of transition, but look like they could be kicking on to another level.
Yeah, I think that, I think the signings have been good signings. Ronald knows what he's doing. He's been successful abroad. He's been successful at Southampton, and we know it's going to be a tough game. Everton are a fantastic football club, and they'll have great expectations there this year, and rightly so. He spent a bit of money. I think you'll most probably end up spending a bit more as well. So, the expectations, like everybody else, will be high. No problems.
Tony, you mentioned the expectations there high, and does that kind of underline how difficult the Premier League is going to be this year, that every club, teams like Everton, probably looking for Europe this year at least?
No, I think it's fantastic. It's the greatest show on earth, and that everybody at the beginning of the season starts with great optimism. And I think that, we're no different. We need to bring players in. If we bring the players in, then, we can see ourselves pushing on, and we'll want to push on. And I think every football club wants to do that. But, it's tough. It's a tough league. It's the toughest league, I think, in the world, because everybody turns up every Saturday. The quality this year, again, the top clubs have spent on the quality players they brought in, will make the league even tougher than what it was last year.
And not just every Saturday as well, Friday night football as well. That's something that, how do you have to change your sort of schedule when the games are?
Well, we had to deal with Sundays and we had to deal with Mondays. I'm old enough when it was just Saturday afternoons, 3:00. So, I managed through that period. So changing it to, Saturdays at 5:30 or 12:30 kickoffs, and then Sundays, then Mondays. It's the change. The people who pay the money, they get what they want, and if it's Friday night football, then we're subservient to them.
And you mentioned the new signings at Everton, Yannick Bolasie from Crystal Palace. A lot of money are played, well, and Ashley Williams as well might make his debut this weekend.
Yeah, it looks as though Lukaku could be fit as well. So we'd be, when they're all together, they are a top team, and we know how tough it's going to be. We know it's going to be a tough game.
And finally, from me, any team news from you? Any knocks?
No, everybody's very, very good. We've had a really good pre-season in respect of, touch wood, we haven't had any injuries, and we hope to continue that through the initial games. That's very important for us.